The movie opens up with Tsubaki Hibino getting ready for her first day at high school. Hibino's father is a photographer who owns a photo studio, while her mother helps her husband with his work. Before leaving for school, Hibino styles the hair of her younger sister Sakura, who loves to be stylish. In contrast, Hibino is a simple old-fashioned girl who wears a proper school uniform and braided hair. A little while later, Hibino arrives at her high school and notices students wearing short, trendy dresses. She is initially surprised by this, but essentially ignores it and makes her way to her classroom. Unfortunately, while climbing the stairs, she accidentally collides with a handsome boy, Tsubaki Kyoda, scattering her books on the floor. Hibino immediately apologizes for her mistake and starts collecting her belongings. Kyoto also helps her pick up her books and passes some comments on her conservative appearance. Right then, one of Kyoto's friends, Nishiki, shouts, "Tsubaki!" from behind, prompting Hibino to respond. This is when Kyoto realizes that he and Hibino have the same family name, Tsubaki. In the meantime, the other high school girls recognize Kyoto and start gathering around him. It seems he is very popular with the lady. Later during the welcome ceremony, Kyoto is designated the student's representative. Apart from his good looks, we learn he topped the entrance examination, so he is intelligent too. Kyoto then delivers a welcome speech that wows the students. Meanwhile, Hibino is shocked to learn that the guy she thought to be a playboy turns out to be the most talented student. In the next scene, Hibino and Kyoto end up as classmates with their seats beside one another. Once again, he teases her about her style. Annoyed, Hibino grabs a pair of scissors and warns him to leave her alone. This angers the other girls in the classroom, and they immediately threaten her and warn her to stay away from their idol. Surprisingly, Kyoto defends Hibino. He says Hibino is his girlfriend, then kisses her in front of the entire class, shocking everyone. This stuns Hibino, and she is left speechless. The following day, a teacher informs the students about their upcoming spring festival at the school and suggests they participate. Hibino is made the class leader, but when she tries to make suggestions, her classmates don't listen to her. They even refuse to help prepare for the festival and opt out of participating. Seeing all this, Kyoto calls Hibino and says that he will help her if she goes out on a date with him. At first, she declines his offer, but later when she realizes that the students will listen to Kyoto, she agrees. Kyoto then addresses his classmates and reveals that they will be participating in the festival. Moreover, they can decorate with whatever resources they have. Being one of the most influential people in school, the students immediately follow his lead. Later, Kyoto approaches Hibino and asks her about their agreement. However, the latter refuses to date him and mentions that she only accepted the proposal to make their classmates participate in the competition. She also states that dating is meant for couples who are truly in love with each other, and in their case, she does not feel anything for him. Hearing all this, Kyoto is taken aback because no girl has ever rejected him before. The next day, during the preparations for the spring festival, Hibino helps her female classmates put on their dresses and do their hair. This impresses the girls, and one of them even suggests Hibino share her contact number. Right then, Sakura arrives to see her older sister, wearing an adorable wasp costume. Seeing her, Nisika falls for her cuteness and tries to approach her. To his misfortune, Sakura goes straight to Kyoto and starts talking to him. Here, Hibino notices that Sakura likes Kyoto. The spring festival goes off without a hitch, and after it ends, Hibino can be seen gathering the materials alone. Suddenly, Kyoto arrives and starts helping her. While they are at it, Hibino mentions that she loves to dress people and bring a smile to their faces. She then asks Kyoto if she can cut and style his hair. At first, he declines, claiming that it is girly, but when Hibino keeps on insisting, he agrees. She then gives him a stylish haircut, making him more appealing and handsome. After this, Kyoto keeps on staring at Hibino and invites her on a date the following day. This time, she agrees. The next day before heading to the date, Hibino enters her sister's room to borrow some stylish clothes. However, when she realizes that Kyoto started liking her for her simplicity, she leaves, still in her baggy clothes and braided hairstyle. During the date, Kyoto takes Hibino to a shopping mall and buys some stylish clothes and sandals for her. Following this, he takes her to his friend's salon and gives her a makeover. Kyoto is stunned to see Hibino's mesmerizing beauty after the transformation. Later, the couple visits a karaoke club, and inside, Kyoto tries to force himself on Hibino. As expected, she despises this act and walks away from there crying. She then reaches home and removes all the clothes gifted to her by Kyoto. The following day at school, Hibino tries her best to avoid Kyoto. However, when a female classmate gets closer to him, she gets jealous. Sometime later, Kyoto approaches her in the classroom and reveals everything. He explains that Nishika had challenged him to propose to a stiff and serious girl in class, and this is why he pretended to like her. He then apologizes to Hibino for his behavior and promises to never trouble her again. Next, when Hibino returns home, she can't find the dress Kyoto gifted her the day before. She immediately deduces that Sakura has taken the dress and goes outside to search for her. After looking for some time, she notices Sakura at Kyoto's workplace. When Hibino is about to leave, Kyoto also sees her and rushes to stop her. He catches up with her and invites her to his house to join a study group with Nishiki and Sakura. In the next scene, we see Sakura, Hibino, and Nishiki arriving at Kyoto's house for a group study. An hour later, Nishiki suggests they go to Kyoto's grandfather's villa during their vacation, and everyone agrees. During their vacation, the four of them enjoy their time on the beach and their stay together at the villa. Sakura, who is there to seduce Kyoto, decides to give up. Instead, she decides to get intimate with Nishiki. However, her plan is ruined when Hibino arrives there and interrupts them. Later at night, Kyoto takes Hibino to his favorite place, a place where he has stored a huge telescope to take a closer look at the stars. Here, the two promise to meet again on Christmas Eve to watch the stars. During this time, they get closer, and Hibino confesses her love for him. Unfortunately, instead of replying to her, Kyoto walks away, leaving her confused. From that day onwards, he starts ignoring her. Sometime later, Nishiki feels bad for Hibino and decides to tell her everything about Kyoto's past. It turns out that Kyoto's mother left him when he was 8 years old, and since then, he does not believe in genuine love. After hearing this, Hibino decides to help Kyoto recover from his childhood trauma. First, she wants to celebrate his upcoming birthday, and Sakura and Nishiki decide to help. On his birthday, the three decorate their classroom and bring different presents for him. With this gesture, Hibino wants to convey to Kyoto that she cares for him and will never leave him alone. Fortunately, their plan is a success, leaving Kyoto with a lasting smile. He hugs Hibino, and the two begin their relationship. After this, Hibino puts some effort into her appearance and style. With this, the two spend the next year together. In the next scene, while Kyoto is with Hibino in a park, his former middle school girlfriend, Nana, approaches him. The two quickly reconcile and become close friends. Seeing their connection, Hibino becomes jealous as she fears losing Kyoto. One day while Hibino is visiting a library, Nana approaches her and assures her that she and Kyoto were in a relationship before, but they are just friends now. Next, when Kyoto arrives home, his father calls him and reveals his mother's critical health condition. He then asks him to either call her or go see her, as she is desperate to see or hear his voice. However, Kyoto is still angry at his mother for leaving him and decides not to visit her. The following day, Hibino approaches Kyoto and asks him to go out. Sadly, he declines as he is still distraught over his mother's condition. Later that day, Kyoto arrives outside the hospital, but can't bring himself to go see his mother. Instead, he follows up on a message he received from Nana and goes to meet her. She just wanted to remind him about the promise they made together in middle school, that they would join the same university. After their meeting and on their way back home, Kyoto and Nana stumble upon Hibino. Seeing them together, she assumes Kyoto is cheating on her. Hence, without hearing his explanation, she ends their relationship. After a few lonely days, Hibino receives a message from Kyoto's hairdresser friend, Hananoi, asking her to become his model for a magazine. Hibino quickly accepts the offer, but when she attends the photo shoot, her expressions seem dull and uninspired. She asked Hananoi to let her be the stylist for his models, and he agrees. Later, she continues her photo shoot, and this time, it is a success with her smiling face. The photo of Hibino soon gets published in a magazine, and her classmates are all surprised to see her as a model. By this time, she has already decided to discontinue her study and focus more on her hairdressing skills. The scene then shifts to a conversation between Kyoto and his father, where he states that he still loves his mother and fears losing her despite her mistake. These words from his father have a deep impact on Kyoto, and he immediately rushes to the hospital to visit his mother. After seeing her, he realizes how much he still loves her. Later, he remembers the promise he made to Hibino and leaves the hospital to meet her. On his way, he calls Nana and informs her that he cannot be with her on Christmas Eve, as he has a significant promise to keep. Elsewhere, after finishing her work with Hananoi, Hibino arrives at the place where she and Kyoto promised to watch the stars together on Christmas Eve. She arrives early and waits for Kyoto. Meanwhile, Kyoto misses the last train to the destination and is compelled to run. After waiting for hours, Hibino decides to leave, leaving behind the necklace which Kyoto gifted her. But just as she is about to leave, Kyoto arrives, very happy to see her waiting for him. Without wasting any time, he hugs Hibino and declares his love for her. The movie ends with the two kissing and spending their night together, watching the stars.